So guys, before I start this tutorial, I would like to, test the products that we have added into the list. So yeah, the app should be coming on anytime soon. If it is successful, then it should display the products. So let's just wait. So yeah, turned out it is successfully launching our products. And now we have to work on, like, once we click on it, where do we go from there? So remember guys, like we had passed the list, the same list that is being displayed, we had passed it here. So it already knows that okay, on what item we are clicking if we pass the position. So when we want to go to the detail fragment of the product, then we have to take the help of navigation arguments, and for that we have to pass a special uh, dependencies in gradle. So we can, because we are passing, like once you are on product, you are passing that okay, the position of the product is A, so display that product information here. The title of the product A is this, so display that here. So we have to pass these values, arguments, among the fragments. So that is why we will be passing here some values. So before we do that, we need to add something to our gradle project section. So this is the dependency for safe arguments, and we also have to add the plugin for it because this is important. You can work with navigation without it, but if you want to pass the arguments, then you need these dependencies. And also we need to pass this plugin. So yeah, here we will come into the module part of Gradle, and now we will sync. So yeah, what will happen now is that we will go back to our navigation graph after this is synchronized. Then we will add that to the values that we want to receive, is the title, is the image, is the description, everything. Okay, so what we'll do here is I will this is at the receiving end. So whenever you want to pass arguments, you have to go on to the receiving end of the fragment. Even though we are sending it from the here, but we have to pass the arguments here. Okay, so what do we need first? We would need a document ID, that I will let you know why did I take this. We can say it's a product ID. We need a position of the item that is being clicked, 0. Initial position we can add. We need the title, null, and we need the image, that can be null too initially, and we need description. Description we can be a null. What else? I don't think so there is anything else, but if there is, then we will add it later. But you get the idea that what I have tried to do here is simple. Like in intent, when you use intent dot put extra, this is the way we do it in the latest, like, navigation. That's how we do it. So also we what we do is, like, right away, like, once we are going back, let's say we have chosen a quantity. So then we are going to display it here, right? So we have to send that back also. Yeah, or maybe not. But let's just, once you have added the arguments, go to build and rebuild the project, and it will automatically generate some files here for you that contains the method for you to pass the arguments among the fragments. So that is why I have expanded it, so maybe we will be able to see the those extra files that are being built while we have clicked on the build project. And if you don't rebuild your project, chances are Java will not auto generate those classes for you that are crucial for passing the arguments among the fragments. So let's just see. I think, like, let's keep an eye here. We should be seeing something here. Okay, yeah, so it closed. That means something has been added here. So yeah, if you see, this has added a new folder, and this is the new stuff that has been added. So I'll not open it. I'll just directly go to the product fragment, and what we have done is we will go here. First and foremost, we'll go up nav controller and initialize this also. View, find view by id. Sorry, this is navigation dot find view controller view. Great. Okay, so what we have done is we are sending product fragment direction action. The action is product to detail product. So we'll take that. We can name it as action, product fragment detection action. And now there can be many actions, but you have to read where you are going. So we are going from product to the detail product. That is why we will use the first one. That's all. And now we will pass set title. So I'll take product list, get position is coming from here, and get title actions. Now where do I get this from? Because we had passed arguments, so we are seeing these auto generated methods. So just stay with me and follow along. Actions, set product id, product list, get position, get product id. Actions, set position, product list, get position, get, sorry, in here you will just simply pass the position. And lastly, I think, yeah, the image is missing, so we'll be adding image also. Set image, product list, get position, get image URL. So now we have already, these are the values that we will receive at that detail fragment end, and we will be displaying it onto our the views that are in the detail fragment. So after this is done, you can just simply come and say actions, and this will take us to the detail fragment. So let's just clean this mess. So now if we go to the detail fragment layout, it has an image view, it has two buttons, it has a quantity, it has a description, it has a cart, yeah, and it has a total price. So what we'll do is we will be initializing these views first of all, and then we already have the values that we want to set onto these views. So first of all, let's just initialize this view. I'll pause the video and you can see it later. So guys, I have taken some variables that we will attach our views and values to. So this is for displaying the quantity, this is for title, this is for description, and this is for price. And quantity, we have to add a counter obviously, and for the add button and subtract button and adding to cart. And the image view obviously is for the image, and these variables are for receiving the arguments that we had passed. So let's just I'll be initializing them one by one. So guys, we need one more thing is the price. So I did not pass the price here. So what I'll do, I will pass another argument here, and because we want to display the initial price also, it's an integer add, and we can just rebuild the project, and then we will be given a method here that help us to get the price. Yeah, we want to pass the price also. And once we are here, we can just, yeah, it's working. So this is it for the initializing of the views. That these are I can write here initializing the views. And this is for receiving arguments, or you can say values in the simple terms. And here you are just the Firestore shit that you are going to initialize it, and the user ID is Firebase auth get current user get UID. Okay, so now what happens is once we click on the first of all we should set the views. So title view should have title, description view should have description, and image view should have the image URL, and the price view should have price for one item is, because it's an integer, so we are setting an integer value on the text view, so we have to convert it to string. And what else do we have to set here? I think that's all for our views, and we'll just run the app to see if our click is working. So yeah, let's see. If we click on cycle, then it should display cycle. If we go back, we click on iPhone, then it should show iPhone. We click on laptop, then it should show laptop. So this is it. This is working fine. But now how do we work on the quantity and rest of the stuff? So yeah, let's get right to it. So first of all, if we look at here, then we want to whatever the quantity is present in the Firestore initial quantity, we want to be able to display it here. So what we'll do is we will go to our Firestore collection products, and now we are not displaying the quantity of like all of the products. Whatever item that we have clicked on, we are displaying only the quantity of that, because it we will later update it, right? So whenever like user comes to this activity or fragment, he or she must be able to see the should be able to see the quantity that was last updated into the Firestore. So the reason we have this auto generated document ID, and you can see here in the model I had annotated it so I can get it, and now this list contains this ID, and once we receive this ID here in the document in the product ID, we can know that on which item the user has clicked and what is its product ID, what is its the document ID. So that is why we are going to be specific that okay, this is the product ID, and whatever the value of the product quantity is, display it on our quantity display set text view string dot value of, we can say int and latest quantity product product value dot object product dot class. Okay, so latest quantity is product get quantity, and here we'll just display that latest quantity. So that's it. Okay, now let's get to the real thing. Add quantity, set on click listener. So whatever the quantity, I have taken an integer here, 0, integer parse integer, whatever the quantity that is available in the text view that displays the recent quantity. So whatever the quantity is here, we want to add in it. So whatever the text is here, we are getting that, and I can say quantity plus plus, and I can create add it to the cart. Not not now, we'll just whatever the quantity is, once it is being added, it should update the quantity in the product collection. Where it should update whatever the document, whatever the product. I think once you write it by your own, you will understand what is this doing, and I can demonstrate it too. Okay, So let me just show you a demonstration of this before we move ahead, otherwise it will get complicated. So guys, like I wanted to, like demonstrate how it works. Like, okay, what I was trying to do. Okay, so one here, we'll just open our app and yeah. So now maybe I'll click on cycle and we see if we increment it, this quantity gets incremented, and we also see it here. So let me just show you one by one. If the value is 1 here, this is going to be displayed because we have attached our text view to it. And once we click on add quantity, this value here is being taken out and stored into this integer and being incremented and updated. So how do Firestore knows that we are only incrementing on cycle? Because if I go to another product, it is 0. And this is because this is where the magic comes of the product ID, that once we click on it, it realizes that on which product the user has clicked on. Okay, so this was the demonstration. We will use the same approach for the decrement of the quantity. So let's do it. So yeah, we'll just be like working on this. So let's go to work on the subtracting button, subtracting or subtraction button. And here, if quantity is quantity should not be less than 0, because if the quantity is 0, then it should not go further down that. Because if I don't have the time to demonstrate it. If I don't write this statement, then once you are decrementing it, it would go -1, -2, -3. So you have to add this special condition here, else quantity minus minus, and we will just pick up this, get it there. So now once the quantity gets minus, it would update that value also. So what we are going to do is we will also at the same time uh, display the price. So whatever the price is, we'll just maybe work on it. um, yeah, so I have gotten the price here, and I will take another one, initial final price maybe, and I can add space. So whatever the quantity is, we will multiply it with the price. Final price quantity multiply by price. So yeah, this price, whatever the value is, in the quantity counter, we can add that, and we can also set that price view text to total is, let's just add this. We can add quantity total is value of total is final price, and let's do the same thing here. final price is 0. If the quantity is 0, then final price is 0. Yep. So let's just now now let's do another demonstration that how this is playing out, that whatever the quantity number is, how is it displaying our price. So yeah, let's go to cycle, and we had earlier updated the value, so that is why it is fetching that value from Firestore 2 and displaying it right here. So for some reason this is not working, but we will fix it. But you see it here, total is increasing. And let me check why the minus button is not working, the subtraction. um, Subtraction button, sub quantity. Hmm, it should be working, but something weird. Minus quantity is has to be one line, I forgot. Again, you have to get the text from this. Yeah, let's just wait now and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so let's check. And now it's 4, so it is decrementing now. Yeah, and for some reason the quantity is not being displayed here, so maybe I have to. The reason is string value of quantity. This has to be written here in order for me to see, because it was an integer, so the quantity was not being shown. But you get the idea that whatever that I am trying to minus or plus, it gets updated here. And yeah, we are also calculating the price. So what do we do next? We have to create a special collection for the cart of the user. The each user should have a separate cart, right? Because if there are 10 users, then each of them would have a different cart and uh, different kind of different products. So what I will do is, in the next tutorial I will create, let's just work on the cart. Now our button and views are working, so let's work on the cart in the next tutorial.